Good morning, everybody. I am working on the final line art right now for this Gotham City Sirens piece I'm working on. And here is a look at where I'm at. So I've transferred the line art, changed a couple things around from the sketch, and now, after I've transferred it, just using my light table, so this is on a light table, I'm going to be doing the finalizing the lines. Now I just use a Alvin Draft Tech pencil. This is my favorite pencil for doing final line art. I've removed the little pocket clip thing that's usually on here because it kept getting in my way. But anyway, it's 0.3 millimeter HB lead, and time to get started. There's certain things I haven't quite figured out, or I'm still working on them, and so as I work on them, I'll just talk you through what I'm doing. But really quick, I'm going to post a comment just explaining what I'm doing and the tools that I'm using, so hopefully everybody can see that. Oops, I have 2 erasers. Can never have too many. But anyway, this is what I use for my final line art. Here's all the different pencils and erasers, but I'm going to run really quick and post a comment so that people can see that, and I'll just leave these here, and I will be right back. 2 seconds. Okay, I'm back. So, I changed my mind. Initially, I had Catwoman holding her rope right here, but I felt that it made this particular section between their legs right here really full. So, on a whim this morning, I've just moved the rope to kind of going around Catwoman. So I'll keep working on that to get the positioning right and make it look the way I would like, but for now I will be working on their faces because it's sort of at the top of the picture, so I want to get all that done and sort of work down so that I can keep the smudging to a minimum. Alright, so here we go. Now I have my light box on something really cool I got yesterday. But because of that, it is it's a little bit on an angle, so you're seeing everything slightly warped, I guess you could say. But it was $20 on Amazon, and check this out. So it rotates, and it's made for the light box that I use. Now this is not exactly extremely high quality or anything like that, but it is really awesome for keeping my light box at a slight angle. So that's what I have it on. All right, so this was kind of what I was going for with Catwoman, and I tried a few times yesterday on live, and I couldn't quite get it. And that's how it is for me with faces or anything. It takes a few tries. I'll erase things. I mean, sometimes a miracle happens and it's perfect the first time I put the pencil down. Other times it's not, and I erase and keep working. But yeah, Catwoman, I wasn't getting it. So I tried like 2 or 3 more times yesterday afternoon and finally got what I was trying to go for. Okay, just try to make sure you guys can see and there's enough light for you. Now, technically I'm not inking, I'm using a pencil, but this is sort of my quote-unquote inking phase. I just ink with a pencil. And I get my lines pretty dark, so then at the end I just scan them and fix the levels a little bit to remove any like yellow from the paper or any smudges or anything like that. And then that's what I send off for flats and to get ready for colors. Hi, Amy. Thank you for being here. Hey, Michael. Hey, Dawn, that's funny. I guess you can always get to the laundry later. Sorry for interrupting your laundry doing time. Hey, Claire. All right, I have a small intruder here who is stealing my stuff. I don't know if you could see him. Yes, see? And he's going to be playing with my pencils. That is my cat Sherlock, who has decided that my my desk is his desk. I need that, mister. Sorry, Ian. Okay, I'm gonna have to take Sherlock down. He keeps trying to play with the wires. Come here, mister. Hi, Brazil. It's so nice to have all you guys on here with me. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. Basically what I'm trying to do is just finalize and get the line work darker and then add some shade into it, but not a ton. It's more like thicker lines show where the light is hitting or where the shadows are. So that's what I'm trying to put down now, especially also because like this is just, I'm just looking at the light table and essentially tracing my sketch. So now I'm just working on putting together the final lines, and my kitty cat is being a real stinker. I'm gonna have to take him out of the room. Sorry, everybody. Come on, Sherlock. You're just making a mess of things, aren't you? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Kitty cat problem's done. He's outside of my room. Okay, let's try to resituate things. Sherlock was playing with the wires and getting into my art stuff, just being a real stinker. All right, there we go. You're timing me? The first character that I worked on in the industry that I got paid for were Rothic books. So if you go to Rothic.com, you can see those books. I even believe that she has the first cover that I ever did. That was ever published or anything was for an Ancient Dreams book, and that was my first work in comics, and it was published in 2012. Good morning, Corey. Tony's asking, can you help me with an artwork, please? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry. So this little eraser that was, I snagged the idea for getting these. I didn't even know they existed until Mike Crome posted a picture of them one time, and I was like, oh my god, must have that eraser, and it's really, really great. So I have to give props to Mike Crome for cluing me into this eraser. I love it. I use it all the time now. Before I used to take this eraser and like snip it down to have a point. I just had like a pair of nail clippers that I kept for art, and I'd snip it to make it a sharp point, and I'd use that for erasing. But this one's so much easier. I don't have to snip it down to anything. It pretty much keeps a point just from use. So I so enjoy having this eraser. It's changed my life. I highly recommend it. You can get it on Amazon.com .com.ca, wherever. Can I draw your logo? I actually am not a logo artist. That's one thing I've never really gotten into, and I would have to say I am not very good at it. I realized I made her eyebrows too long on the ends right there, so I'm going to fix that. When will I be ready for new commissions? God, I wish I knew. What I'm trying to do is work through my list. I finished a few over Christmas and the holidays, and I'll keep working on it, but it's probably going to be a while because I have a bit of a long wait list. I'm so sorry. David Balance, I'm going to be doing digital colors for this one, which is why I'm not inking it. I'm using my pencil. Oh, thank you, Leo, for watching them, and I'm glad you can make it to a live. Yay! Welcome. No vodka. Oh my God, no vodka ever. Especially not when working. My God. That's hilarious. It's water. Sheesh. Yes, water though. I'm really trying to do better. I'm the world's worst at drinking water. Thank you for your patience, David. I will really do my best to work through the list. They're just the ones, they're the at-home commissions, most of them, that are like 11 by 17s and stuff, and those take me longer. So I don't always have the time between deadlines and parenting and everything to work on those, but I will really try. I draw sober. I can't draw if I've had like half a glass of wine. Oh my God. I don't know where this vodka thing came from. Hi, Angela. All right, well, I just got this little stand thingy yesterday, and I'm trying it out, but it seems as though the light table is too long, and so now that I'm working all at the top, I'm finding that I keep bumping it, and I'm trying to keep it stable, and it isn't quite working. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go quickly grab my notebook, which is what I've been using, so that at least it's stable. It's shaking too much for me to work on. So this is my nifty to-do list book, and I'm just going to use it to prop up my light table. Everything is still very much a work in progress. Pardon all the eraser shavings, everybody. Okay, so here goes down my notebook, and it doesn't move when it's on that. For the last, since I entered and started working in comics, I've never worked at a desk. I've always worked either on the floor or sitting in a beanbag chair I had for a while, and then just sitting on a couch. And only recently, like in the last couple weeks or last couple months, did I start thinking it might be a good idea for me to get a desk. Plus, I love having pencil cases and everything out, and getting a desk sounded like so much fun. So I just got a desk, and I'm working on my setup. And the little stand that I got on Amazon is really awesome, but it's not big enough to hold my light table when it's at portrait view for working on 11 by 17. So I tried it, I like it, but only when I'm working on smaller paper. And I can make my light table landscape. Yes, I could get a drafting table. I just, to be perfectly honest, I like having everything flat because I have so many Copic markers and a bunch of stuff all around me, and I felt for myself personally I didn't want a huge drafting table. I would like to get like a desktop one. So this thing was, the little black thing that I had out was $22, I think, Canadian on Amazon. And I was like, well, I'll try it just to even see if the concept works. But I need to find like a desktop one. I know they have something like that on Blick. And I want to be able to set my light table on top of it. So I'm being a real princess in the pea right now. To make sure all those line up. Yeah, I didn't quite make it. I'll need to fix that. Hi, Drake. How did I get custom blue line boards? I commissioned a designer that I know who laid it out for me, and then I send it to my local printer who has a paper that I really, really like, and they print it for me. And thanks for hanging out for a while, Dawn. I will see you later on another live, I'm sure. Have a nice snow day with your grandkids. Now, generally, this may not be a time saver, and, you know, I may change my tune over time, but I try to get the final piece clean enough that pretty much all I have to do is scan it and send it off for flats. I adjust the levels just to make the line art darker. But other than that, I don't really have to do a ton of cleaning, but I am a little bit of an obsessive eraser and touch-upper while I'm working. It may not actually be the best use of time, and I should do the cleanup later. I don't know, but right now this is where I'm at, and I'm a little bit obsessive about cleaning it all up and making it as perfect as I can get it right now. Now, I'm not sure if this is where the lighting's going to stay, but just for fun, I'm going to put in a couple little highlights on her goggles. Probably when I color it, I'll move things around a little bit and decide on the lighting. I also really like rim light colors, and I'm not really sure. I don't have a plan yet. Usually when I'm drawing something, the idea will start formulating and I'll have a whole plan of how I'm going to color it. And I'm sure that'll come in the course of working on it. I just haven't gotten a plan yet. But I hope to, when I color this, actually record my screen, and then I'll post that on YouTube with the process of coloring it. David's asking, would a Batman and Robin and Batgirl in their 70s costume theme be of interest to you as a commission? For sure, that sounds awesome. I actually really enjoy when I get commissioned to draw dudes, so I would very much love to draw Batman. Corey's says, I never thought I would ever be online shopping for an eraser. You're a bad influence, Dawn. Oh, I am the worst. I'm telling you, I will give you a bad art shopping habit. So watch out. Hi, Ted. Anyone, if I miss your comment or don't say hi to you, I'm very sorry. It's that I missed the comment. They scroll up after a little while, and then I don't see them, but I will go back and look at all the comments, and if I didn't respond to you on the video itself, I'll try very much to get back to it and respond to you later. So please don't be offended. It's not that I'm trying to ignore you. I just probably didn't see it. Do you use Pentel or Uni-LEDs? And what's the pencil? I've bought a few different ones over the last few months to find the right one. The one is overrated. Yeah, I had a much more expensive pencil before, and I had a lot of trouble with it. It would jam up with lead. I use just normal Pentel lead, and this is an Alvin Draft Tech pencil. Thanks for hanging out, David. Talk to you later. I know I owe you a Lady Death blank. It's getting bad. David is so patient. I've owed him that Lady Death blank for so long. So that is the next thing on my to-do list, is to get David Balance his Lady Death blank. I'm sorry, David. Oh, Ted, no, I didn't. You know, I tried to scan the Psylocke, and my scanner hated the color. Like, it didn't pick up properly. So I do have like a couple phone pictures, so I guess I could post one of those. Her nostril went up too high there. Nope, still too high. Okay, so I want them all looking at the viewer, which in this case is myself. So I want to make sure that her eyes are in the right place. For me, I'm telling you guys, I am the world's worst at trying to get both eyes looking in the right direction. Oh my God, I have to try it so many times. One always looks like, one eye's looking correct and the other one's just kind of going off. It's not like they're completely crossing eyes or anything like that, but it's just enough that you don't get the feeling she's looking right at you, and oh my God, it's so frustrating. So here goes. Nope, I need to be looking at it straight on. This usually takes me a fair few tries to get it right. Nope. This little eraser is the best. And now I'm procrastinating. That's better. I'm with you. Tombow and Pentel are really, really good for pencils and erasers. Okay, well, she's looking in the right direction, but she isn't quite looking at us. So that's a bummer. More stalling. Yeah, no, she's looking like somewhere over there. I might just leave it for now because at least you guys have seen how I set up the eyes, and I'm going to need to erase it and redo it a fair few times. So I'm just going to move on now and finish up this portion of Catwoman, and then I'll move on to Ivy. I'm going to have to pick up my kids from school. Today's a half day, and my daughter's 13th birthday. Whoop, whoop. So I'll need to go do some mommy chores, but I'd like to try to get the faces done at least this morning. All you guys are seeing is the top of my hand. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to move it, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Yes, now you can see, I think. So I've just got a little tiny bit of her shoulder showing through on this side because I drew it underneath in my rough, or while I was working on the sketch or something. I know that her arm bends and comes over here, but I didn't want it to look like she'd lost an arm or I'd forgotten her arm, so I'm just showing a portion of her shoulder right there, and it implies that the arm is going that way. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if you guys can hear Sherlock, but he's meowing outside my door. He's very butthurt. I had to very kindly remove my cat from the room because he was on my desk and taking my stuff and trying to chew on the iPhone wire, and he was making a real situation of himself. Oh, I was not gonna do very much on Catwoman's body right now. I'm gonna focus on their faces and work down. Yeah, Kitty just wanted to be near Catwoman. That's right. Now, for an actual comic book cover, which this is not, I would try to keep everything inside the safety zone. There's like a certain spot where you know it's not going to get cut off in the bleed margins for a comic book. This one, I'm able to go all the way to the edges, so because I'm not worried about it getting cut off with bleed margins and all of that stuff. So that's why it's going all the way to the edges. More often when I'm working on a cover, I need to make sure that all the important things stay in a certain area. And I don't have those safety zone lines on my custom paper that I had done, but if you look at another comic book board, there'll be like 3 sets of lines going inside, and that's so that as an artist we know which parts could potentially be cut off, because comic books go all the way to the end, so you need the art to go a little further than the size of the comic book so that it can be trimmed in print. And so that's what all those lines are. And then the very center square or rectangle, that's called the safety zone, and that means whatever you draw in there, if you have something important to the piece, it should be in the safety zone pretty much, because then you know for sure it's never going to get trimmed off or shifted or anything in printing. With this one, I don't really have to worry about that, but I got my paper printed without all those extra lines because I have them on my template on the computer. So when I sketch something, I'll scan it, put it on the template, and make sure everything's in the safety zone before I print it out to do my final piece, if that makes sense. Or if that was too much technical garble, you can just ignore me and carry on living your life. Oh, thanks, Amy. That's awesome. I'll take a look once I'm done here. Okay, now she does have a little collar thingy that sticks up a little bit. Because she's looking back, I'm just kind of implying that it's being folded down under her chin. So that's what I'm trying to go for here. But these lines, like her shoulder and this part of her traps, are in front, so I'm just making those lines a little bit thicker. Thanks, Randall. I'm glad you like it. And thanks, Nathan. I'm glad you like the layout. I had a couple different ideas for the layouts, and I tried a fair few of them and decided to go for simple is better in this case, especially when it's such a full piece. It's so tempting for me sometimes to be like, okay, I'm gonna like do this and do that and make him, this one's way in the background and then these two are in the foreground and she's laying on the floor and she's sitting on this, and like adding too much and making the piece just way too busy, that, you know, someone will look at it and be like, what is happening and who are these people? Because it's all just so small and confusing. So I went for simple is better here. And I showed all my different layouts to my husband, and he was like, yeah, definitely, I prefer this one the best. So that's why I'm going with it. Yeah, simplicity is best. Oh, I love your Batman cape swoop exit. Have a good time charging. Talk to you later. Who is this for? Right now, I'm drawing it because I wanted to, and I may have it with me as a print for the show, and then, so the original for this piece is available if anyone is interested. Okay, my head might get in the way of the camera for a second. It's just because I'm trying to see her nail. And getting a decent view means I may be in your way. Still not a decent view. Okay, there we go. Randall, yes, there's a chance. Okay, so I've got enough done on Catwoman that I am working basically left to right and then down. So I'm going to move on to Ivy's face now. Whoop, whoop. Even just me working over there, I started smudging some of the transfer lines, which is a bummer. Hello, Jamie from South Africa. That's so awesome. Thank you for hanging out with me. Have any of you tried a kneeling chair for drawing? It's something I'm considering doing, and just to help my posture, and I'm just curious if anyone else has tried that. It's just so easy to hunch down, and I'm a real nose on the paper kind of person, and so I actually just took away my chair the other day and was just kneeling on the floor while drawing, and it was actually really, really nice. So I'm very much considering getting a kneeling chair instead of an office chair for my art desk. Yeah, I thought about the exercise ball. That's just a little too bouncy. I need it to be pretty solidly on the floor, or I'd probably just screw up my work left, right, and center. But yeah, I'm glad you tried one, Corey. I'm glad you like it, Robs. So Ivy's hair is kind of going all over the place. But both Harley and Catwoman's hair are covered in caps, so they wouldn't be catching the wind a ton. So I just kind of went for it with Ivy's hair. In order to fit the girls this way, I wanted to fill some space up there and also leave some space open. Otherwise, it's just a jam-packed picture, which I've done before on some covers. Literally every inch is covered, so much so that I can't even find anywhere to put my signature, so I have to do it digitally because it's just too full. But that, I think, is something I need to learn, when to do that, when not, and when to leave some space empty, which is a hard thing to do and hard to know when to do that, but I'm still trying to learn and improve on that part. Seriously, Jamie, a kneeling chair is great for napping on? How? Or is it the exercise ball that's good for it? So I wanted to put some leaves, ivy leaves, in her hair, and then a couple flowers too, which she has sometimes. Which will be really, coloring wise, I think it'll look really nice. In that her hair is red and then the leaves are green, so they'll really stand out, which will be super fun. You sleep on the kneeling chair when you're that tired. You find a way. Wow, that's got to be really tired. I just can't even picture it, but it's so cool. And I get the when you're really tired, you find a way, though I've never tried sleeping on a kneeling chair. With these flowers, I literally just kind of scribbled as I was transferring because I knew I wanted some here, but I didn't really draw them out, so I'm just going to have to make some sense of my scribbles. You know what I haven't done yet? I haven't completely packed up my Christmas decorations. So this afternoon, in order to get the house ready for my daughter's birthday party, I'm gonna pack up my Christmas tree. It's actually so sad. I wish that we could keep the decorations up longer and it wasn't weird to do that. It's gonna be like snowy here for probably another 4 months at least. So now it's just cold and there's no decorations to celebrate the cold and the snow. I mean, I'm not that much of a slacker. I did pack up everything else. I just haven't done my tree yet. It's a pain in the ass. Okay. So for some reason I'm not seeing the comments from everybody. I'm gonna try again here. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry everybody, I didn't see a lot of your comments. Something must have froze. Do I normally leave the lines so clean? Ryan's asking. This is, yes, for this particular thing, yes, I do. Because I'm essentially inking it. So I'm not adding any shading, I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just basically faking inking with a pencil. I prefer it. So, at least for now. So after I'm done with this, I'm going to scan it and color it digitally. For a normal commission, I ink it and then color it all by hand. Jim intends to keep his Christmas tree up till the end of January. That's awesome. I was informed by my today turning 13-year-old daughter that it would be much appreciated if I packed up the Christmas tree, not just the decorations. So I promised her I would. Corey, I use Photoshop to color. Thank you all so much for your kind comments. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you like it. Have fun buying the eraser, Corey. Oh, I'm sorry. I do it to everybody. And no, these are not sponsored talks about things. I've just, when I like something, I really like it. Oh, I would love that. Even just give me free shit. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys something. I did say that this is Cougar Super Smooth paper. Not everybody's going to care about this, but the last few times I've been using the paper, I have a feeling that it's not the right paper. It's not the paper that I usually use. I got a new print run done a while back, but I hadn't opened it, and I'm starting to use it, and I feel like maybe one side of the paper is the super smooth and the other side isn't, or something. But this paper has more texture than I like to work with normally, and I've been wondering if it was all in my head, but it's been like the last 2 or 3 covers that I've worked on that I'm just like, oh my god, something is wrong here. Something is very, very wrong. I'm not getting as clean lines as I usually do. Putting down my pencil lines is just, it's a mess. And I feel like the paper has too much tooth to it. And this is ridiculous. And I'm sure not many people would notice, but I am seeing it, and I need to talk to my printer and find out if I got the wrong paper. I know, right, Drake? If I got like free makeup and free art supplies, that would be the life. So I want a few leaves and flower petals flying around, and then some little dots of God knows what. Sparkle dust. Sparkles! And I want to put that throughout just to show a bit more motion. So with her outfit, I hope you can see it. There's light lines here, and I'm gonna try to not actually draw in every leaf and fill her entire bathing suit with leaves. I'm gonna imply them, but I'm not gonna draw them all in just because I feel like it'll make it way too busy. So that I'll work on later though. Because of the paper having a lot more tooth to it than I'm used to, it does cause a lot more smudging than I want, and so I'm going to be really careful to try to stick methodically to working downward and from left to right so that I'm not smudging any actual final lines, or it's just going to be a mess. Thanks, Dutch. It's nice to have you on here with me. Artist Anonymous. Yes, that's right. What was my most difficult work of art? I have no idea. I'm so sorry. Every single one is a challenge, for sure. At least for me. And it's really weird how art is. Like, sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I'm having such a good artist day. I feel like I'm actually doing good art. And then other days I'm like, I'm having a bad artist day, for sure. Everything I do is the suck. And so, you know, it could be that the piece itself, though none are coming to mind at the moment, wasn't really all that complicated. It's just I was having a bad artist day. And for Ivy here, I want to give her like a off-centered Ivy choker. And I'm going to have to see about that. And I'm not sure about Ivy's cleavage. I kind of really went for it on that, but I'll have to see how I feel about that later. And I may just, in the end, when I'm coloring it, just erase those lines and do it in shade. We'll have to see. Right now, she's got a pretty epic cleavage happening. All right, so before I put in the darker shade for her eyebrows and her lashes especially, I'm gonna start working on her hair because I don't want to smudge that. And so I'm just lightening my lines just a teeny weeny bit with this. Now her hair's all coming from the back, like the nape of her neck. Ivy's been getting into the Miracle-Gro. That's right. Now hair takes me a fair few tries sometimes to get the look I'm going for, or for it to have enough flow and motion and not look like every little piece was planned. Like I'm having to try hard not to try too hard, which is really something. On bad artist days, I fight through it because usually I'm motivated by a deadline. So whether I'm having a bad artist day or a good artist day, all it means is I'm just going to have to erase and do over a lot longer, which actually makes it a lot harder because you know the deadline is coming and yet everything you're trying isn't working. Unless it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and I feel like I've just been beating myself over the head and nothing's working, then I'll go to sleep and get up. But otherwise, yeah, I just power through. Oh, lol. Those lines that I just put in her hair, it makes her look like she has elf ears. So I'm going to erase that. I haven't thought about trying to paint any of my work. I'm really not a painter. I did like 2 painting commissions, but they were just like abstract colors, not actual painting. So no, I actually haven't thought about doing that. Thanks, Tony. I'm glad you're thinking it's looking good. I need to go pick up my kiddos, but if I have time later, I will come back and do some more. But today is my daughter's birthday and I need to go pick up my kids from school. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I'll keep working on it later, and if I do, I'll make sure to do some more Facebook Live. Love you all. Thank you for being here with me, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!